Yo, it's D.Arthur in the building. Talking to you guys today about why women will flock to you like honey bees on retention. Why women will flock to you like you're honey and they're the bees while you're on retention. Women will flock to you like honey while you're on retention because you have the missing piece of what they're in need of. And the man who retains the most, the man who is on retention the most and utilizing retention to its fullest benefit will win in any social situation, will improve his charisma, will improve his social status, will improve his monetary gain, will improve his anything, his masculinity, his physical stature, his spiritual life, his mental capacity, his retention when it comes to retaining memory and everything. He will become top dog in all situations. He will become a full stack man, and he will get what he wants because he's utilizing the most powerful sacred energy known to man to his advantage. And that is sexual transmutation, the mystery of sex transmutation. You will become your divine self on retention. I mean by this because if you're doing the right things, like retaining, reading, taking cold showers, eating the good foods, filling your brain with all the good positive reinforcements, and utilizing your skill set, you will have a divine presence on this three-dimensional physical reality, and this might sound pretty crazy, but this is true. If you're doing the right things on a consistent basis, the benefits will speak for themselves. Your face will turn to clear up. Your voice will be clear. Big bass to your voice. Your eye contact will be top notch. It will be irresistible to any woman. Let alone eye contact is one of the factors of attraction. If you can have very charismatic eye contact and a very smirky smile, and if you can be very witty in your interactions and just a very charismatic guy, you will win not only with women, but you will win in business, in career settings, in negotiations, and anything. Because people flock to the man who has charisma. People like men who have charisma. Women like men who have charisma. Women like men who are not too serious about themselves. Women like men who have results and let the results speak for themselves. You can mess up when it comes to like attraction. Maybe you might overtext her, or maybe you might be a little bit too needy from the jump, maybe. But all of this will be pushed aside on retention. You will have a clear arrow to your target point, which is attracting the woman in your life, and everything will be good for you if you can utilize retention to its biggest capacity, to its fullest capacity. The thing that I'm trying to say is, if you want her to be effortlessly attracted to you, because women are attracted to the qualities of a man, not really the man himself. Women are attracted to everything that the man does and how he acts in that situation. All the other things like status, money, and all those things, they play a part, but they're not like, because they're not the deciding factor at the beginning of every interaction, because they don't really know that about you at the beginning. They only know how you look like, your appearance, and how you carry yourself in the interaction with her. So the best way to attract her into your life, and the best way to keep the conversation going, to get her to actually like you, is one, get off Tinder, get off Bumble, get off Hinge, get off Insta, get off all of the social network apps, and try to utilize your interactions in person, because in person is when you can shine the most. Because you can be a full stack dude, but if you're But if you're on IG and trying to DM every girl that you see, it really has a low success rate. It really has a low success rate unless she has really, really high interest in you. So try to interact in the physical. And then when you're interacting in the physical, there just has to be certain things that you do. You have to do certain things kind of on purpose to get her to be in your aura and to be on your team. The things that I'm talking about is when you talk to her, give her that masculine presence, give her that solid eye contact, give her that witty remarks. Let's say if she's walking a dog or something, and the dog may be like cute or something, tease her a little bit. And you're opening her interaction, tease her a little bit. Maybe just be like, and I've done this before, just be like, hey, I don't know who's cuter, you or your dog, and then point to the dog and pet it, and this is like, and then be like, definitely your dog. This will show that you're very okay with yourself. You have confidence to be able to say things like this, and you're not too overlooked by her looks, because a lot of guys can get quiver and be afraid of how the woman looks, and then they decide not to approach her. But the thing to kind of avoid this is to look her kind of in her pupil, or maybe not even in her pupil if that kind of scares you, but maybe look at her forehead, the middle of her eyebrows. That in her perspective is, or in anybody's perspective, it still looks like you're looking at her in the eyes. But this is less scary for you because you're not actually looking at her in the eyes or looking at anybody else in the eyes. You're just looking at their forehead. But they think that you are, which is could be used to your advantage if that's what you want. Now, when I say charisma, like, just have a smirk on your face. You can say anything. It's not really how you say anything. It's about the energy behind what you're saying and how much you care about what you're saying and how much you care about how she reacts, because she can react in a very negative way. But if you're okay with yourself enough to take that, even if she acts negatively, then you will have the upper hand in every interaction. You have to care. You have to be willing to lose her if you're trying to gain her. You have to be willing to lose the girl that you want in order to be able to gain her. Now on retention, all of these things that I talk about with the masculine eye contact and the tonality and the charisma and everything, you will become like effortlessly. You will become like that effortlessly. Because now you're not really doing the talking. Your masculinity is doing the talking for you. And this is very, very attractive to women, because the same person who can say something very witty, but it cannot have the same effect if they're not as masculine in how they say it. And this is where retention comes in long, and this is how retention becomes your friend, because in the point of contact where you have the advantage and where you're using your masculinity, in her eyes, you're looked at as an asset to her. And if you can be looked at as an asset to her instead of a liability to her, then you'll be top dog in the situation and you will get what you want from her, if that's what you want. But make sure you're just utilizing your masculinity, because you can say the most witty, terrible, just really things that don't even make sense. But if you have that masculine presence, that masculine energy, and that carefreeness, then you can really pretty much get away with it if that's what you want. So to keep the conversation going when you're talking to her, just make sure you're saying some witty things. Make sure you're at any point, what you're really trying to do is get her to open up about maybe her past, her childhood, or something in her present that makes her feel a certain way, that makes her want to open up to you and talk to you about it. And then you guys start connecting on some sort of emotional connection. And then you keep talking about that emotional connection until it gets to a really good part. And then you stop the interaction, you release the interaction, and then you talk about something different, and something maybe something logical or you just point something else and then you start talking about that. The point of this is it's to get that presence, is to get that dopamine spike in her brain, to get that dopamine spike in your brain, and to get both of you guys connecting on an emotional level. You will start creating a bond with her if you can do this properly. But the thing is, you have to do it properly. There's certain things that you have to do to make this effortlessly work in your favor. Now, if you want to get deeper into this conversation, click on the link below. I put down a 4-day video training series on how you can effortlessly attract any woman that you want. Make sure you're utilizing your retention to its fullest, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.